Goldens, may this festive season bring a good luck and good health to you and your family. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. If you are new, thanks for joining. And to my old Golden members, I love you so much. I wish you all the best in the life ahead of you. To begin with, today I'm making Indomie my style, my way. I first slice my cabbage. I make sure the cabbage I'm using is the greenish part of the cabbage, not the white part of the cabbage, because I want my Indomie to be very colorful. And since it's Christmas, we want to get our colors going in there. So I gently slice my cabbage and then pack it aside. This is the quantity of cabbage I'll be using. I proceed to work on my tomato. Adding tomato to my Indomie, I've come to realize it gives it a different kind of flavor. It incorporates the juices in the Indomie. Sometimes or mostly are dry when you finish making it, no matter the quantity of oil you use. It feels dry, so adding tomatoes takes your tomato to a different level. After my tomatoes, I proceed to dice my green pepper or bell peppers. This also makes the Indomie very colorful and very crunchy. Comment down below, do you like bell peppers in your food? Because bell pepper has a tangy taste. So comment down below, I love it. I then proceed to slice my carrots. I was tired. I don't like working in the kitchen because I'll stand for a very long time, and anytime I stand for long, my waist tends to pain me, so I had to sit down. So I proceed to dice my carrots, and the carrot is the key ingredient in my Indomie recipe. After I then slice my bell pepper, I slice the one I'll be putting in the Indomie and the one that I'll be boiling aside. After slicing my bell pepper, I proceed to dice or slice my onion. With the boiling part of my Indomie, I don't like to boil my Indomie in a different saucepan. I use the same saucepan for frying my Indomie. So I first put water on fire, allow it to boil, and then place my Indomie in the water. I then proceed to stir continuously because I do not want a part to be boiled and another part very hard. So I do this continuously till it starts to boil, and then after I drain off my Indomie. A lot of people like to put their spices at this stage, but I prefer to put my spices during the frying stage. I drain off my Indomie and then use cool water to reduce the amount of heat in the Indomie so that it will avoid the Indomie from sticking to each other. I do this continuously, then give it a stir and then set it aside for the next step. I pour a quantity of oil in the same saucepan I use and then add my Indomie oil to my oil. I then proceed to add my crushed ginger and garlic. Comment down below, do you use crushed ginger and garlic for your Indomie base? I love it, and it takes the Indomie to another level. Most of the times when I'm preparing food without meat, I try to put in crushed ginger and garlic to make it very flavorful. After I add my chopped and diced onions, I chopped it unevenly because it wouldn't show in the Indomie. And then I add my tomato. As I said, tomato takes Indomie to a different level, but I add a small quantity because I do not want my Indomie to be very washy and full of tomato. I want the taste to be very balanced in this recipe. And then I proceed to add all my cabbage and stir till it becomes very translucent. And I do not let the ingredients sit on fire for a long time before adding the next ingredient, simply because after my preparation, I want the ingredients I use for the Indomie to still be crunchy. And then I added my carrots. At this point, I was contemplating whether to add all or not, but I said, today is Christmas. What's the worst that can happen? put everything in there and then get the best out of what you are going to eat. After all, what's life? Life is short. Just be blessed that you have and then consume it, but make sure you save. So I added all my carrots and gave it a stir for a little while. It became translucent. Then I added my bell pepper. I did not want a lot of bell pepper, that is why I used a little quantity. But as for carrots, we want the carrots in there because Indomie is not hard, so you have to mix it with something that is crunchy to give it a very perfect crunch in your mouth. Then finalize it with my spring onion and then give it a stir. At this moment, I do not waste time. I just proceed to add my powdered pepper because I can't eat Indomie without powdered pepper or without enough pepper. I then add spices. For the Indomie spices, I do not use all the 3 spices because I use 3 packs of Indomie, so I used 2. The spices of Indomie is very strong, and if you put a lot of spice in, you wouldn't really enjoy your food, so I used 2 packs of the Indomie spice. Gave it a stir. And at this part of the video, I was parboiling my spring onion. You know, I watch a lot of Korean movies, and anytime I see them eating noodles with spring onion there, I just love it. And this is how most of the times they do it and put it on their food. So that is what I'm incorporating in my dish today. I then added some sardines to kick in the flavors there, take the Indomie to a different phase, gave it a stir, and then added my noodles. Everything comes together at this point. Putting my noodles in. Immediately I put my noodles in, I increase the fire a little bit so that I can fry the noodles and everything will be very dry and juicy as well. There are so many ways of preparing Indomie, the dry one and the liquid one. When I say the liquid one, the one with sauce, liquid sauce inside, and the ones that are fried are basically stir-fried. I love both recipe. The recipes out there are extremely flavorful and delicious. This is one of the ways I eat my Indomie. I mostly like to fry egg and add. When I do not feel like frying egg, I boil egg and add to my Indomie. So comment down below, how do you consume your Indomie? Do you have a different skirmishes of preparing your Indomie, or you go by the same method? Because this method isn't new, it is all over. A lot of people prepare their Indomie with vegetables. This is very healthy because of the vegetables, but I do not usually consume Indomie on a daily basis. I do consume it once in a while because consuming it too much isn't really healthy. So guys, I'm all done, and look at how juicy, how colorful, how delicious this recipe is. I really love this recipe because none of the ingredients overpowered each other. They were all balanced, tasty and flavorful. They complemented each other very well. Most of the times when you eat Indomie from different vendors, you realize one ingredient is higher than the other, especially oil of the sardine. Sometimes the spices in particular is so much that when you just put the Indomie in your mouth, it's just so harsh. But this recipe, everything was balanced. I do not have a specific measurement for this. I just eyeball everything. Africans are used to eyeballing their ingredients and then putting it into their food, and that is how we go. Sometimes we want to go through the professional way and we measure. So that is the end of today's video. So don't forget to like this video, share to your friends and family, comment down below, and subscribe for more videos like this. Remember to stay safe and stay blessed during this holiday season. May all your wishes be granted. Merry Christmas to you all. I love you, and until next time, stay blessed.